Hello and welcome, I'm Sanjay Pinto. As journalists, we often look for scoops. We look for that big breaking news, for that exclusive interview with a political leader or a newsmaker. But in the rough and tumble of news coverage, we also come across stories that make us sit up and count our blessings. Stories that make us realize how lucky we are to lead normal lives. Stories that touch a chord in our hearts, in your hearts too as viewers. Stories that don't touch our TRPs, never mind, because they touch our conscience, reminding us of our primary duty as journalists. Stories that move us to tears, to action. Stories like that of baby Ganesh, now all of 4 years and still lying in his parents' lap, motionless, unable to speak, unable to even utter an appa or amma. A year and a half ago, this child fell into an uncovered stormwater drain outside the Kotupuram railway station and got sucked into the Coombe River. He miraculously survived but went into a coma. Today, baby Ganesh is struggling to recover from severe brain damage, and his poor parents have sold all that they had to pay for his treatment. Their savings have all evaporated. Thanks to a tip-off from a pediatrician who is with us in our studio, Dr. Benny Benjamin. In such cases, I guess it's okay to reveal our source. Thank you, doctor. We at NDTV Hindu took this case up as a campaign. And we salute all our viewers, some even from Australia and Kenya, who have written in offering to help this child. And with every news bulletin, let me repeat that, with every news bulletin, there are more and more mails landing in our feedback inbox. And this special show on prime time is to thank all our viewers who've been such good Samaritans, who have assured baby Ganesh and his parents that they are not alone in his fight to live. And the more the merrier. Also in our studio is Deepika Pallikal, squash champion who has just come home to Chennai after winning the Washington Open and was moved by the plight of baby Ganesh and wants to help him in some way. Also joining us is Basu, the director of Primal Patterns, better known as the head physio of the Royal Challengers Bangalore, who also has some good news in store for us. Thank you all for joining our campaign to help baby Ganesh. Now let's go across to Anu George for all the headlines.
Thank you, Sanjay. Over to the national headlines. The Supreme Court directs Chief Minister Jayalalitha to appear in Bangalore court tomorrow. A few minor incidents of violence but a higher voter turnout marked the second phase of the civic body polls. The Madras High Court asked the State Election Commission to respond to an opposition petition about the lack of video cameras at many polling booths. The State Election Commission orders repolling in 7 booths. The opposition has demanded repoll in 239 booths. The Chennai police arrest 5 persons in connection with the murder of real estate broker last week. Work at the Kudankulam nuclear plant remains paralyzed for the 7th day. Government forms a 15-member expert group to allay public fears. NDTV Hindu viewers pledge their support to light up home of baby Ganesh ahead of Diwali. Let's have a look at the national headlines now. Former Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa is discharged from hospital and sent back to jail. Pakistan's Army Chief General Gayani warns America, says US will have to think 10 times before taking any unilateral action against Pakistan. PLI NCP Chief and Union Agriculture Minister Sharad Pawar blames poor central leadership for the raging controversies gripping the government. Hitting out at Mamata Banerjee's Friday deadline for laying down arms, Maoists call a bandh on the same day. Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee backs government auditor, says has not exceeded jurisdiction. It was the 4th time lucky for Julian Barnes this year. He won the Man Booker Prize for his book, The Sense of an Ending. Our top story, the Supreme Court has turned down the plea of Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha to postpone her appearance before a Bangalore court hearing the wealth case against her. In her petition, Jayalalitha had cited security concerns. The Supreme Court has told Jayalalitha that the Karnataka government has made all security arrangements for her court appearance. The centre has also told the court Jaya would be given National Security Guard security cover in Bangalore. Jayalalitha faces charges for accumulating wealth disproportionate to known sources of income when she was the Chief Minister from 1991 to 1996. In its order, the Supreme Court asked Jayalalitha's counsel, "You are a public figure. How can you remain away from the public?" We have long queues of voters waiting outside polling booths in Poonamally.
City Police Commissioner to the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Sadananda Gowda, repeatedly have been mentioning that Ms. Jayalalitha, Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, will be given extra security when she's here on the 20th of October to attend a court summon right here where I'm standing by. She will be here in this very court premises. Barricades put up at least half a kilometer much ahead of the special court. Incidentally, right opposite the central jail where Mr. Yediyurappa is currently lodged at. He is an inmate, and right opposite that is a special court where Ms. Jayalalitha will attend her court summon in connection with a disproportionate assets case going back to 1991. Between the years of 1991 and 1996, Ms. Jayalalitha is accused of amassing wealth of over 66 crore rupees, much more than her known sources of income. That, of course, Ms. Jayalalitha says is political vendetta, which is why the DMK lodged that case against her. But now it seems that Karnataka, which has now taken up the case for hearing for a free and fair trial, will hear that very case. I can show you this public notice that has been put up, which says from the 18th of October to the 20th of October. That's the date of Ms. Jayalalitha's appearance until 7 p.m. All types of vehicles and public is prohibited in this area. So this is a kind of indication of the kind of security that Ms. Jayalalitha will be given, much against her apprehension. In fact, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, speaking exclusively to NDTV, mentioning to us that Z Plus category, which Ms. Jayalalitha enjoys, will be given to her the minute she lands at the Bangalore airport. With camera person Kumar, Radhika Iyer in Bangalore for NDTV.
If you thought ward councillors and municipal chairmen were not important and village panchayats were modified kangaroo courts, the state of Tamil Nadu will ensure you think again. Today, the second phase of polling was conducted for more than 194 rural panchayats and 63 urban municipalities. And yes, believe it or not, this election has seen a higher voter turnout than even the state assembly elections. Our reporters Pratiksha Ramkumar and Krishnamurthy explain the phenomenon.
Long queues of voters waiting outside polling booths in Poonamally well after the polling centre's gates were shut, determined to play a part in electing their municipal chairman and ward councillor. The scene was not too different at Kanchipuram, Pammal or Pallavaram.
Council எப்ப கூட எந்த பிரச்சனை உடனே வந்து செய்றாங்க. யார் கூப்பிட்டு வரலன்னு எந்த கவுன்சிலும் சொல்றது இல்ல. என்ன பொறுத்தமட்டில.
The second phase of polling was nearly a revelation of sorts. Observers blamed the low voter turnout on Monday to voter indifference. But the second phase of polling struck on that idea, recording a whopping 77%.
அரசாங்கம் நல்லா இருக்கணும், நாங்க எல்லாம் நல்லா இருக்கணும், நல்ல வழி, நல்ல இது குடியிருப்பு நல்லா அமைச்சு தந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும்னா.
Voters from districts located in the fringes of bigger cities and towns, plagued by civic grievances, felt that exercising their franchise was the first step to solving their problems.
பாதாள சாக்கடை என்ன சீக்கிரமா வரணும். அப்புறம் இங்க ஏரி வந்து மக்களுக்கு நல்ல உதவியா இருக்குது. இந்த ஏரி பட்டால சீக்கிரமா தரணும் மக்களுக்கு.
Though most of the districts that went to polls today were considered sensitive, the second phase again sprang a surprise. This time in a good way. Though video recording was absent, no major incidents of violence have been reported so far. The police will now hope things stay calm till the counting on Friday. In Chennai, with Krishnamurthy, this is Pratiksha Ramkumar for NDTV Hindu.
After getting complaints from all the opposition parties, the State Election Commission orders repolling in 7 booths. Earlier, opposition parties had moved the Madras High Court seeking repoll in 239 booths in the city, alleging irregularities in the polling held in the first phase of the local body elections. Repolling at all the 7 booths are tomorrow. the government has constituted a 15-member expert group that will help allay the fears and apprehensions that have emerged at Kudankulam. There is no chairperson of this expert committee, and it has been set up by the Department of Atomic Energy. This committee will interact with the state government and with spokespersons of the anti-nuclear agitations. Work at the upcoming Kudankulam nuclear plant remains paralyzed for the 7th day. Although villages have lifted the road blockade, authorities have decided to not send engineers and scientists to resume work. Today, a team of 46 technocrats were sent in just to continue essential maintenance work. Already, around 2,000 contract workers, mostly from North India, have vacated the town out of fear. And around 1,000 local contract workers also are boycotting work in support of the villages. This has affected the housekeeping and hygiene conditions in the plant.
The state government has constantly been saying that there is a need for an expert group to come and talk to the people. Now, the government was supposed to constitute this almost a week ago. Now, finally, they have constituted this group of experts, which includes people who are cancer specialists, who are experts on fisheries, people who are experts on earthquake engineering, and also on radiation safety. But there is no expert in this particular 15-member group who is expert in communication and public awareness. So that could be one major issue with this particular committee, but this is an expert group of mostly retired scientists, most of them like Dr. Harsh Gupta, who's an eminent earthquake specialist from National Geophysical Research Institute. It also includes members like Dr. A. Muthu who's a Department of Ocean Development person, and a very eminent radiation safety person, Dr. M.R. Iyer, who used to be with the UN's nuclear watchdog, the IAEA in Vienna. Includes also a very famous cancer specialist, Dr. Shanta from Chennai. So there are several people in this 15-member group who carry with them a robust knowledge of how to understand the complex issues which have emerged in the Kudankulam agitation. But how much will they be able to communicate with the people is something which we'll have to wait and watch.
We have been campaigning for Baby Ganesh for the last week. After the break, catch Sanjay Pinto bringing out the Good Samaritans in your viewers.